Three, two, one. Yeah. Yes, sir. Hey, man. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back with the Trillest podcast, One Piece podcast on YouTube. We have Goat Talk episode 3.
Yeah, hey man, we say it all the time, what a time to be a One Piece fan, but in this case, what a time to be a subscriber of this channel. I'm not gonna lie, it's always a movie when we get to do these, but especially this one, I'm not gonna lie, anime has been heating up, but mostly because the king of anime is back, One Piece.
Hell yeah. And when you look at One Piece, both anime and manga right now, they're both fucking eating. I mean, when you look at where the anime left off, that shit is gas. We're going into Elbaf. But when you want to look at where the manga left off, there's some very interesting things going on. Emu just pulled up on Elbaf. Now, when you look at where the world government is right now, they have their hands tied behind their back. On one front, you have the Straw Hats soiling their plans on Elbaf to the point where Emu himself pulled up in the flesh. Especially because they can't afford to send any admirals to Elbaf, and that's the other place where their hands are tied. The Revolutionary Army is putting in work right now. They're starving them out. They can't even afford to feed their army right now, to the point where the admirals have to stay in the Holy Land. But both parties, both the Straw Hats and the Revo, are both attacking the Revo or the world government in different aspects, in different ways. But between the Straw Hats and the Revolutionary Army, who is the bigger threat to the world government?
It's tough because the Revolutionary Army directly attacks the world government, whereas the Straw Hats, they be minding their damn business. It just so happens that they get caught up in the world government affairs, and at that point, they're ops. Like, I would almost say Blackbeard is a bigger threat to the world government than the Straw Hats are. But I'm gonna be honest, I feel like Luffy kind of carries for when you want to talk about the Straw Hats being a threat to the world government. And that's no disrespect to the rest of the Straw Hats. Don't get me wrong, we're a strong crew. Zoro's top tier, Sanji's first, the rest of these niggas are strong. But at the end of the day, they're not really that big of a threat to the world government. They are, like, they're threats, but... And Nico Robin too. But outside of that, I don't know. Now there is the whole shit with Vegapunk, so it makes it to where the Straw Hats finding the One Piece makes them an even bigger threat. But outside of that, I don't know. Whereas the Revolutionary Army directly wants smoke with the world government, so I may say the world government, the Revolutionary Army, is a bigger threat.
See, I'm right there with you, but the reason I think it's close is because when it comes to the Straw Hats being a threat, they're not directly threatening the world government the way that the Revo is. But when you want to talk about getting in the way of everything they're trying to do, like, they tried to off Vegapunk and steal the Mother Flame. They got the Mother Flame on Egghead, but Vegapunk escaped technically. And then you want to go on to Elbaf. They try to take over the Giants. The Straw Hats put a halt to that as well. Like, every step of the way, the Straw Hats are in the way. Then you want to talk about the members of the Straw Hats. Like you said, Nico Robin, one of the only people left who can even read upon the glyph. Then you want to talk about Luffy himself. Sun God Nika, like, Emu of all people knows exactly the power that holds. Like, that's where it's tough, but at the end of the day, when you want to talk about what the Revo's doing right now, the fact that they can't afford to dispatch an admiral, it kind of has to be the Revo, just because, like, you have 3 admirals and fleet admiral, and you can't send none of them because of what the Revo's up to right now. Like, that's crazy. Like, I remember back when they first started starving them out, like, yeah, it was a big deal, of course. You have the Celestial Dragons complaining and shit, but it wasn't to this magnitude. Like, they really stepped their game up. Whatever they're doing exactly when it comes to starving them out, it's taking its toll big time, to the point where the Gorose's talking about it. The admirals can't leave. Imu himself, knowing the risk, left the Holy Land just because of it. So I'm right there with you. But I do think the Straw Hats, especially like as we move further into the future, like they're just going to keep on getting in the way every time that the world government tries to do anything. Like, but as far as right now, immediate threat, they gotta find a way to break out of the Holy Land if they want to do anything, because they're literally stuck right now. But I'm right there with you. I would say the Revo. But hey, man, let us know in the comments, between the Straw Hats and the Revo army, who's a bigger threat to the world government?
Yeah, let us know in the comments, because that's a very interesting one. But just to segue into the next topic, you know, one of the Straw Hats, this topic is about him, Sanji. Sanji is a dog ass nigga, and he has a interesting resume of fighting niggas. Now, he doesn't have as many opponents as Zoro or Luffy. That's mostly just because Oda be hoeing. But at the end of the day, when he does get his chance to shine, he definitely rocks out. But Sanji is a different character than Luffy and Zoro. Luffy and Zoro, not only are they like chill niggas, they have that killer instinct. Like, all three of the monster trio are dogs, but Luffy and Zoro have that killer instinct. And they're not the only characters in One Piece that have it. Like, all of the first commanders have it for the most part. And you could say that all of the top tiers have it, and a few other characters in the verse have it. That killer instinct is just different. It's a different kind of drive. But Sanji is different. So just keeping everything in mind, does Sanji have that killer instinct in him?
No. And the reason why I'm so quick to answer that is because if he did, Black Marios could. Like, all the female ops that they go against, like, Luffy's what would you seen what Zoro did to Monet? Like, that's killer instinct. Like, I understand that Sanji has his morals. All the Straw Hats have their morals by default. But when you want to talk about that killer instinct, like, if you're an enemy gang. Like, and the fact that he doesn't have that killer instinct is why a lot of people gravitate to Sanji as a character. Like, it is not a flaw to him that he doesn't have the killer instinct. Yeah. He just doesn't have it. But I'm gonna say no.
I'm kind of right there with you, which is why this question was born. I was kind of thinking about it, you know. It was just like, you know, I was just like, Sanji's kind of a bitch.
Relax.
Like, nah, I'm playing. That's my nigga. But I was just thinking about it, like, Sanji's kind of soft.
Jesus. They're not gonna like that one. I ain't gonna lie. Like, Sanji has his flashes where it's like, damn, like, that was some shit.
Think about it, because it's not just the females he goes easy on. The females, I'm not gonna smack his hands for not putting hands on the females with his chivalry, because I get it. But then you want to talk about some of his male opponents. Now, he pulverized Queen, as he should have, but Bon Clay, he essentially let that nigga go after beating him.
Yeah. Like, it's tough. Like, Sanji has his flashes, like the Queen fight. He has his flashes where he has that dog, that really killer instinct in him. But for the most part, he doesn't. And again, that's not a problem. But when I look at a nigga like our examples was Luffy and Zoro, gang. And there's other characters that have it too. Like, well, when you want to look at the people on his crew that have it, Zoro smacked the shit out of Vivi before spanking Crocodile. Like,
and not only that, like, think about what people with that killer instinct actually do. They're aggressive. They're blitzing shit. They're walking niggas down. Who is Sanji walking down? He's usually running the opposite way. Not that he's scary. He's just not trying to run shit.
Like, he's usually on defense. Like the others are hopping off the porch. Sanji's more of a defensive minded type character. Like protect the women, protect Robin, protect Nami. Like you can even go to the movies, like in Stampede when they were all underground searching for shit, and then Smoker and them pulled up. Like he was on defense. He ain't hop off the porch right away when he seen a op. Like that's just an example of many in One Piece in general. Like even though that's a movie and not the actual show, you can find plenty of examples of it. But and again,
he had his chance to run it with Kizaru.
Yeah, like it's not a knock to Sanji. He just doesn't have that killer instinct in him. It's okay, but he doesn't.
Hey, I'm with you. SOTS spoken, but y'all let us know in the comments. Does Sanji have that killer instinct in him?
Hell yeah, definitely let us know. I know y'all Sanji fans. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. But just to segue into my next topic, the Straw Hats as a crew. You know, the anime just came back, and we got to see the chemistry of the Straw Hats on full display when they touched down on Elbaf in that big ass Lego castle. Like, it was amazing to watch their chemistry on screen, and that was just their chemistry as characters. We're not even talking about chemistry in the field, handling situations like arc by arc. Their chemistry is insane, no matter where they're at, no matter which Straw Hats are together, because they're not always together, but the ones that are together in certain moments, you can see their chemistry literally pop out through the screen. But just keeping that in mind, which arc tested the Straw Hats chemistry the most? Yeah, shit.
Question.
Oh, your camera froze.
Oh, is it still froze?
No, you're good.
That's an interesting question. Shit. For me, well, let's go arc by arc.
Oof.
Grand East Blue out the way. Arlong Park was nice, but it's not comparing to all the other ones.
Right.
Alabasta, no.
Right.
Not Water 7. Skypea, no. Water 7, Annie's Lobby,
That's in there. That's in there for sure.
It's up there.
That's up there for sure.
There. Thriller Bark, no. Sabaody, low key, yes.
Low key, yes. But then after, like, Amazon Lily all the way through Marineford, by default, no. Because they weren't even in there.
Yeah, they're not even in there. And actually, no. Motherfucker.
Fishman Island, no.
Fishman Island, no. Punk Hazard, no. Dressrosa.
Kind of.
Dressrosa low key did, because they split. They split.
I don't know if I'd say that over Annie's Lobby, though.
Yeah. Zhao, no.
Whole Cake, kinda.
Whole Cake low key did, yeah.
But I don't know if I put that over Annie's Lobby. Water 7, Annie's Lobby, bro, they got, like, Usopp threatening to leave, like, Zoro flexing, like, yo, that nigga can't join back unless he apologized. Like, that was real chemistry testing. Like, beyond just some fighting shit.
I mean, yeah, but when you want to look at what happened in Whole Cake, I mean, a lot of shit happened.
It did. Like, especially when they made the plan, that shit was hard. And then even before that, with, like, Sanji's whole situation.
I think Whole Cake is up there. I don't know
espionage. It's up there. It's up there.
Wano is not really up there for me for testing the chemistry.
I wouldn't put it over Whole Cake.
I wouldn't either. Same with Egghead. And Elbaf, not really.
Elbaf, not really. So it's between Whole Cake and Water 7 in his lobby?
Yeah. I would probably say,
I would low-key say Water 7 and his lobby, bro. Because there was so much character shit that had, like, Robin leaving the crew. Then they went to
The
get
reason
her
why
back.
this is so
Frankie
tough
beat the
for me,
shit out of Usopp, then joined the crew. Usopp left the crew, then joined back. Like,
this is so tough for me because half of the crew wasn't even with the Straw Hats when they went to Whole Cake.
yeah, that's true.
They were with a bum ass squad. Luffy going into the mirror.
Not fighting Sanji back while he was just beating his ass. Nami smacking Sanji. Oof.
I can give it to Water 7 in his lobby because the amount of shit that went down, but I do think it's very close.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think Water 7 A's lobby, like the whole, I mean, the crew almost fucking split. Like they lost damn near half the crew in that arc, and then brought him back. Like then added a nigga that beat a nigga's ass. Like that's crazy. Zoro was literally using Usopp as a sword. Like I think it has to go Water 7 and his lobby. Yeah. But I would put Whole Cake a close second though, because Whole Cake, like even with that sorry ass squad they had, like all the rest of the niggas were just in Wano. You got Chopper, Brook, Luffy, the GOAT of course, Nami, and fucking Carrot going to get Sanji back. It's close, but I'll give it to Water 7 and his lobby for sure. But hey man, SOT has spoken. Y'all let us know in the comments what arc tested the Straw Hats' chemistry the most.
Yeah, let us know in the comments because that's a very interesting one. But just the segue, you know, death. I'm not gonna lie, death comes like a bullet. Death comes and goes, but especially in One Piece, there's a lot of deaths. Like, now, this ain't Attack on Titan, but the deaths that happen are monumental. And everyone who goes out in a way that's so memorable. Like, my nigga Ace, he got a hole punched in his shit. And now niggas call him Donut Man. Now, it's not funny, but at the end of the day, niggas will never forget it because he was shielding Luffy. He went out like a G, but he's not the only one who went out like a G. So many other characters went out like a G in One Piece, but just keeping all these characters in mind, between Whitebeard and Oden, who went out more like a G?
Whitebeard, bro. Like,
Really?
Oden went out like a fucking like a beast, bro. And that shit literally hit to the point where I was literally standing up screaming at my TV. That shit was hard. But the way Whitebeard cracked, like the whole situation surrounding Whitebeard when he went out, like the nigga pulled up on the entire world government and crashed. Then watched his mans die that he came to get back and crashed again. Like and oh man, let alone the words that he said. I'm not gonna lie, dying on his feet game, like that's one of the most gangster deaths I've ever seen in my life. Like, take this shit out of One Piece, gang. This in all of fiction, this is one of the hardest deaths ever.
No, it is.
Like, Odin shit was gas too, but we're talking about like Whitebeard transcends anime. You want to talk about how hard that shit was?
I think they both do, low key.
Yeah, they both do. But
Right.
Whitebeard game, like nigga, that's top 3 game. You want to talk about a hard death? That's top 3.
It is. I mean, it is. And I'm glad you said that because I was thinking about it, and Whitebeard's death is the hardest, but let's talk about Odin's death for a moment. Odin literally carried all of his niggas on a pile of wood while being boiled alive. Like, and he did not scream or nothing. He just started pretty much singing his song, holding these niggas up, like saying, like, damn.
He's the only one that going.
12 niggas, bro, all held them all up just so they could survive, and he went out. Damn, that shit was hard. But Whitebeard's death was definitely more gangster. I ain't gonna lie.
Like, bro, that nigga looked the world government in the face and pretty much said, "Fuck you, nigga." Like, and then died standing with a big ass gaping hole in his chest and half his face missing. That shit is different.
Bullets riddled through him.
Hell yeah. Like,
Died. I think the seller for Whitebeard is he died standing on his feet.
yeah. Yeah. Let alone, like, essentially relaunching the Great Pirate Era. Like,
Yeah.
with his words right before
He did
that.
say, yeah, that's true.
The One Piece
That
is real.
too.
One of the hardest lines in One Piece. And it was right before he died. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Whitebeard. But Oden shit, boy, he was being boiled alive while carrying niggas. That's different. That's different as fuck. It's just his comp is Whitebeard. It's
Those are
tough.
some big ass niggas. These aren't normal humans.
Yeah. Like, Ashura dope boy, that's a big nigga. But yeah, I'm going Whitebeard for sure.
But, hey man, let us know in the comments between Whitebeard and Oden, who went out more like a G.
Hell yeah, definitely let us know, because they both went out like fucking G, I ain't gonna lie. But just to segue into my last topic, you know, we haven't dropped one of these on the channel, but I'm gonna let you guys know about it. We have our own little grading system for animes called the 5 Fingers of Death. Now, the 5 Fingers of Death is the 5 categories we deem most important when it comes to judging and grading anime. We have the first finger, story writing. How comp is that story? You know what I'm saying? We're judging the stretches of story writing versus is it a long, ongoing story? We have our characters. We're looking at the quantity of those characters, how good those characters were written. Our third finger of death, relatability. How relatable is the arc? How relatable are the characters? How relatable is the concept? Everything about it. How relatable is it? Our fourth finger of death, scene execution. What that bitch looked like. What were the fights talking about? How was the animation, the music, everything that goes into making a scene as comp as it is? How well did they do with that? And last but certainly not least, the creativity. How creative was the story? How creative is the concept? How creative is the anime as a whole? Now, those are our 5 fingers of death for grading an entire anime. But we can break that down to a smaller scale, especially when you want to talk about a show like One Piece, because some of these arcs are literally better than your favorite anime. I'm gonna keep it a stack. So
I don't know.
just keeping that in mind, using the 5 fingers of death, how would you grade Sabaody? Hell yeah.
Like, but I'm about to go into the 5 fingers, but without the 5 fingers, this is the time. But like, Sabaody's one of those arcs that's better than your favorite anime.
That's why I used it. That's why I used it.
But that being said, story writing, goddamn, if it was longer, it would be a top 3 arc in One Piece. But it's only like probably like 30 episodes max.
I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that.
Barely.
Nah, you're probably right, low key.
It's probably like 36 max.
Yeah, type shit.
But if it had more, it would be a top 3 arc. Like, the story writing was fantastic. Luffy, all of them niggas, the slaves, celestial dragons. Like,
why you keep saying it like that? Bro, I swear every Go Talk we about to get canceled, bro. God damn.
yeah.
Yeah, the story of Sabaody was calm. I ain't gonna lie. Like, not only do we get introduced to the entire worst generation, like the rest of them, because obviously Straw Hats had half the motherfuckers damn near, but we get introduced to Law, we get introduced to Kid, Killer, fucking all them niggas, Game Bees, Euros, Drake, all the Supernovas. We get introduced to every last one of them. They show us how scummy the Celestial Dragons really are, and what the Straw Hats would have done to them niggas, let alone what Luffy did do to one of them niggas. Then you have the repercussions of that off rip. And like, in hindsight we know this, but at the time we didn't know about the consequences of what touching a Celestial Dragon actually brought. Well, it brought fucking Kizaru down, and that nigga started wreaking all types of havoc, let alone the pacifistas, who at the time seemed damn near unfuckwittable. Like,
yeah, shout out to Bonnie, because imagine what would have happened if Zoro cut down Charles.
Yeah. Luffy punched a nigga. Imagine if Zoro killed one. Oh man, they would have sent all three of them motherfuckers. But
would have sent Akainu.
That the story easy 10 for Sabaody. Like, and that's not even considering what it led up to.
Then you want to talk about characters. Characters, easy 10. Straw Hats, any arc with the Straw Hats is a 10. Like, then you usually, any arc with the Straw Hats, they introduce like 3 characters that you would care about. Sabaody introduced 13, and that's the worst generation. They introduced damn near a new faction. 13 new characters. Really, well, 11, because Zoro and Luffy are part of it. But they introduced 11 new characters that are dope as shit with their crews. And then they also introduced Kizaru, so that's 12. And Rayleigh, so that's 13. Shintomaru, 14. And they had a bunch of pacifistas rolling. They had everyone. It was Marine Carlos before Marineford. Like, it was Marineford before Marineford, just on a random island. Like, that's how chaotic it gets. So I would say characters is easily a 10.
Easily.
Relatability, shit, that should be happening in real life, bro.
Yeah, no cap. You can't touch the people that are like really up top like that as much as we want to. Well, I want to slap some of these niggas, I ain't gonna lie. But
not only
you know
that,
what happened if you do.
Slaves.
Yeah, that too. Like, them niggas were literally getting auctioned off. Like, literal trafficking of humans. Like, that literally happens. Like, when you want to talk about that relatability to our world, that's very relatable. Obviously, a nigga like Rayleigh coming through saving niggas isn't, but that aspect of it is very relatable. So, it's there. You just gotta dig a little bit. But,
yeah.
Then you want to talk about scene execution.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Chef's kiss. Like,
hell yeah. From the hype scenes or peak scenes to the vanilla scenes to the fucking music to the fucking fights to the fucking action.
Hell yeah. Like, especially the action. Like, the fights weren't even really like there were fights, but a lot of it was just Kizaru giving belt. Or the pacifistas giving belt. You want to talk about the action itself? Like, Rayleigh saving Cammy by ripping the collar off. His entrance again when he saves Zoro. Like,
the sound effects.
The sound effects too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, scene execution easy 10. That's 3 10 out of 10s off rip. And for relatability, I'll give it like a 8.5. Just because you have to dig for it.
Hell yeah. And actually, no, you want to talk about creativity, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, easy 10 out of 10. Easy 10 out of 10. But, like you said before we even jumped into the full breakdown, Sabaody's a 10 out of 10 gang. And it was literally the first arc to start the greatest stretch of episodes in fiction. Like, from Sabaody's beginning to the end of Marineford into the time skip, that's the greatest stretch in anime. And Sabaody was the start of it. Easy 10 out of 10 arc. Not only just in general, but using the 5 fingers of death. But, hey man, y'all let us know in the comments, using those 5 categories, the 5 fingers, how would you rate Sabaody?
Let us know in the comments because that's a very interesting one. But just to segue into my last topic, you know, there's a lot of interesting motherfuckers in One Piece. Too many interesting figures, and I gotta say interesting because they don't get active. So what they be on is interesting because we don't know. There's so many people I can name like that, but the two niggas that I'm gonna name that everyone loves the most that really don't be on shit is Dragon and Shanks. Like, oh boy, especially Shanks. Shanks really don't be on shit. He's done like probably 5 things throughout the entire series. It's just all 5 are badass as fuck. But at the end of the day, they're interesting. It really makes you wonder what does he be on in his spare time. But he's not the only one. Then you want to talk about Dragon. Dragon's the leader of the Revo. You really wonder what the actual fuck does he be doing aside from staring east. So just keeping the two characters in mind between Dragon and Shanks, who would you rather see a spinoff on?
Oh, Shanks for sure. Shanks for sure. You were talking about a spinoff, like, because like you said, Dragon just be staring into space and shit. Like, the Revo's getting active now, but how active is the fact that we haven't seen Dragon anywhere but in the kingdom, like literally staring into space. We literally haven't seen shit, and the Revo's doing like we just talked about it not too long ago in a different topic. Like the Revo is active as shit right now, and yet Dragon still just be staring into space. Like when you look at Shanks throughout the story, he hasn't done shit really, but not only has everything he done been badass, but he be at least he be moving, nigga. Like we saw in one of the earliest updates on the Straw Hats and their wanted posters, Shanks was just randomly chilling on an island with Mihawk. Yeah. What? Like, yeah, give me that. So I'm gonna go Shanks on this one for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Shanks too because the lore. I think the lore for Shanks is what sells me. Dragon doesn't really have lore like that. I mean, you have his background when he was a Marine, but he wasn't an admiral. He was a black bitch. Then you want to talk about when he left. That was interesting. Now seeing him start the Freedom Fighters, which randomly turned into the Revo, I could see that being interesting. Then you want to talk about we get to see our boy Sabo put in work. So all of that would be interesting. But then you want to talk about Shanks. The lore on Shanks, give me that. He versus Loki. Shanks versus Loki. Shanks versus Blackbeard. Shanks versus Mihawk. Shanks versus everybody. Like, all of that shit would be fire as hell to see. Just seeing his rise to becoming a Yonko and vice versa afterwards. All the shit that we've seen Shanks do on screen.
And we're talking about lore, gang. We get to see Roger, the Roger Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Like their whole come up story. How the fuck did how Shanks got with them and everything? Like, I mean, we saw that in the manga, but seeing that from that point all the way to becoming a Yonko, yeah, give me that shit all day. Like, I mean, the nigga literally only fights cold people. Only fights cold people. I need that. Mihawk was his fucking rival. How many times you think they fought?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Give me Shanks. 100%. And the Dragon spinoff will be cool. Don't get me wrong. Because like you said, we get to see our boy Sabo come up. Like, all them niggas. Ivankov, Kuma. Like, the shit will be lit. But yeah, give me Shanks. 100%.
But hey man, that's just us. Give us your opinion. Let us know in the comments. Between Shanks and Dragon, who would you rather see a spinoff on?
Hell yeah, let us know in the comments. Vice versa, let us know what you think about everything that we talked about in this episode of GOAT Talk. As always, it was a movie. But if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit that like button, hit the big red subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss episode 4 of GOAT Talk or any of our other special videos. We drop straight bangers on this channel, so make sure you guys tap in with us. With that being said, make sure you guys click our description. There'll be 3 links waiting for you. First one will take you to all of our socials, Sons of Tokyo on every platform. The second one will take you to our Discord. You feel me? Yeah. Come on in, you know what I'm saying? Join that Discord, come vibe out with us, talk about anything anime, non-anime, sports, movies, it don't matter. And last but certainly not least, the link to our Patreon will be in the description. Make sure you guys join that. You can become a member for free and watch all of our full-length reactions to all anime episodes, including One Piece. So make sure you guys check that out. But yeah, man, with that being said, SOT out.